Hey guys, Omni here. We are back with episode 5 of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This is our penultimate episode, guys. After this, we just have the finale. You know, the last episode was perfectly titled, man. The whole world's watching. And at the end of that, the whole world was definitely watching as John Walker covered Captain America's shield in blood. Now, no matter how you set on what side of the fence on whether or not he did the right thing or not, because that's apparently a debate right now, that's still a horrific image. You know, he represents Captain America. He represents that ideology, that hope, that symbol, and he has tarnished it with that blood. With the blood of a man who had surrendered, the blood of a man who was unarmed. Yeah. No matter how you look at that, it wasn't the right way to go. Especially with how far he took it. I get it, man. Lamar, we lost Lamar. Or at least seemingly lost Lamar. I think we're still... I still have a little hope that he's still alive. I know there was a trailer that came out for the final 2 episodes. I haven't watched it. And I know you guys probably noticed there wasn't a reaction to that on the channel. I just didn't want to spoil any of what is to be expected in these final 2 episodes, considering there's only 2 left. I was like, I'll just wait. I'll just wait and watch the show as it comes along. So we'll see how this whole thing unfolds. What happens with the shield after this? What happens with the Flag Smashers? What happens with Zemo, man? We had a lot of great fights the last episode between the Flag Smashers facing off against Walker and his crew. With Sam and Bucky, we saw a face-off with Sam, Bucky, and Walker against the Dora Milaje, and they all got their asses handed to them, which was pretty cool. Yeah, overall, I really loved last episode. I think it was probably my favorite of the season so far. As far as where it was finally kind of taking a huge turn. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see where this all leads, guys. I'm not going to talk too much about this one because we've talked at length about it in the previous episode. We've talked about it a lot in the live stream on the weekends that we do every Saturday. So yeah. Which if you haven't checked those out, I keep those up here on the channel if you want to check those out if you're interested at all. But yeah, before we go into this episode, full and length reaction watch-alongs are available over on Patron, or if you become a member here on the channel. It's got this, WandaVision, every show we've been covering this year is on there right now, so I hope you check that out. Anyway, let's go ahead and dive into our second to last episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Here we go. What the fuck? Did he run from the scene?
This suit comes with expectations, bro. Look, John, I know you want this. I get it. You consistently make the right decisions in the heat of battle. Time to go to work.
Walker, you saw what happened. You know what I had to do. I killed him because I had to. He killed Lamar.
He didn't kill Lamar, John.
John.
Bucky isn't having this.
You gotta give me the shield, man. You don't want to do this.
Yeah, we do.
Jesus.
Why are you making me do this?
Oh, what? How did a normal beam bust that arm? It's vibranium, right? I will say, I don't think either side of this has handled this the way that they should have.
Captain America.
But Walker has lost it. You fucking kidding me, dude? Oh!
It's kind of like a big deal, like international incident big. Folks,
Yep. No, it
higher
would
up on
be.
payroll are all over it now. Sometimes there's nothing to do until there's something to do.
That's bizarrely wise.
Well, I'm a bizarrely wise man, Sam.
Yeah, all right.
Wait, yo, you forgot the wings.
Keep 'em.
Because you're going to be the next Falcon. And I'm going to be Cap. Do it. Do it, Ty.
You are hereby stripped of your title and authority as Captain America, effective immediately.
I'm just asking to be heard.
It is a mandate.
I understand that! I understand that! I only ever did what you asked of me, what you told me to be and trained me to do, and I did it. And I did it well.
Consider yourself extremely fortunate, Mr. Walker, and return the shield to us with expedience.
Well, I think it's safe to say at this point, Lamar definitely did die. And that cut back to him was just a reminder.
I know it's hard, but I don't like
Wow.
to hurt myself. So you can just call me Val, but don't call me Val. Just keep it in your head. You did the right thing, taking the serum. Yeah, of course I know about that. I'll be in touch.
There's nothing on it.
I thought you'd be here sooner. Don't worry. I've decided I'm not going to kill you.
Imagine my relief.
Ladies, I took the liberty of crossing off my name in your book. I hold no grudges for what you thought you had to do. Goodbye, James.
Oh, that's oddly touching. Oh, damn it. Why do I want more Zemo?
We will take him to the raft, where he will live out his days.
Until we need him again, or until he breaks out, one of the two.
I may have another favor to ask of you.
Oh, thank God we're going back.
I need to understand.
She died while I was in jail. They never let a single one of her letters get to me. They locked them in this box. They told her I was dead. And after a while, she was gone. And a handful of us got shot up with different versions of that serum. They don't tell us what it is. They tell us it's tetanus. They send us on missions. A couple of the boys get captured on a mission. I heard the brass talking about blowing the POW camp to hell to hide the evidence. But those are my men. My brothers, not evidence. So I bust out of the facility one night, and I brought them boys back. Not that it made a damn bit of difference.
Just like Steve did, but whole different result.
They erased me, my history. But they've been doing that for 500 years. Pledge allegiance to that, my brother. They will never let a black man be Captain America. And even if they did, no self-respecting black man would ever want to be.
I'm glad we went back to Bradley, man. It was such a heartbreaking scene, though. And such a terrifyingly, horrifically real truth.
Yeah, we still got a bit of usefulness in us.
So how do we get it off the truck?
Oh,
You're welcome. Just dropping this off. can sign for it and I'll go.
I called in a favor from the Wakandans.
Hold on. You gotta go up.
Why didn't you use the metal arm?
Well, I don't always think of it immediately. I'm right-handed. I'm Bucky.
Sarah.
Catch my flight tomorrow. Get a hotel room for the night. Crash, you know?
So you're just gonna set me up like that, huh? Just stay here. The people in this town are the most welcoming people in the world. But don't flirt with my sister. Because if you do, I'll have Carlos cut you up and feed you to the fish.
Okay.
That guy, he's the one that killed our boy?
Yes.
Oh,
I'll
is it?
never let the person who did that get away.
Oh.
I hope you can find some measure of peace in that.
Lies.
I know he's resting easier, knowing that the man who's responsible got his justice.
This is going to send him on his own after Carly, because now he's not going to be able to live down with this lie.
And he would tell me every day what an honor it was to be your partner. It meant the world to him.
I have a job for you. Oh, please, if it weren't for me, you'd still be rotting away in that Algerian prison. I can give you double this time. I promise you won't regret saying yes. So what's it gonna be?
God damn it. Maybe she is the fucking power broker. Damn it. I don't know, man.
Hey.
Put it back. Hurry.
Oh.
The legacy of that shield is complicated, to say the least.
When Steve told me what he was planning, I don't think either of us really understood what it felt like for the black man to be handed the shield. How could we? I owe you an apology. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
It's just that shield's closest thing I've got left to a family. So when you retired it made me feel like I had nothing left. You know, I've got his book. I just figured if it worked for him, then it would work for me.
I understand, man. You gotta stop looking to other people to tell you who you are. You go to these people and say sorry because you think it'll make you feel better. But you gotta make them feel better. You gotta go to them and be of service. I'm sure there's at least one person in that book who needs closure about something, and you're the only person who can give it to them.
Probably a dozen.
That's cool. Start with one.
Good talk.
You know Carly won't quit.
You call me when you have a lead and I'll be there.
I love these two, man. Hell yeah, dude. Oh, almost. Oh yeah, dude, he's trying, man, dude. Hell yeah. I'm still fucking misty from all this shit, man. Hell yeah. Fuck your serum, man. He's got this without it. Yes.
So we're working with criminals now.
Haven't you heard? We are criminals. George gets his payback and we get a killer. It's a bargain on both sides.
You're going down a path I can't follow. The escalation, man. The escalation. What do we got? 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 We got a new cap suit. We got a new cap suit. What do we got? Show me. We ain't gonna find out this episode, are we? Fuck you. Oh. God damn it. It's gotta be what it is, right? All right. I have to imagine there's like something in the credits this time, right? Right. Yeah, there's something. There's something. All right, let's skip ahead here. What's he working on? Is he making his own shield? US agents coming for you guys. Dude. This was a great episode. A little bit of a calm before the storm. Of course, it opened with a solid fight with Walker. And you know, I know it's easy to sympathize with Walker, and honestly, I do in a lot of ways. And I do think that, you know, he started off with the best of intentions, and you know, there was even the argument that maybe if Sam and Bucky didn't keep shooting him down, disrespecting him and all this stuff, like over time, that maybe, you know, maybe he wouldn't have fallen like this. Maybe they wouldn't have gone down this path, that they would have supported him, helped him, accepted him, whatever. But like Lamar said, it only the serum, like power only makes you more of who you are. And I think in a lot of ways they showed periodically how Lamar kept him grounded. And at the end of the day, whether or not it had been then or eventually, I think he would have shown his true colors. I think he would have shown, because he brought ego into it. He brought pride into it. And these are, he saw it as a rank, as a thing that he could achieve or strive for, when it's more than that it's more than duty. It's more than the service to his country. It's the service to the ideals of what the country claims to stand for. You know, it's above that. And that put Steve in multiple occasions against the country because of that, because Steve was only ever Steve. Steve was always out against bullies. And if his country became the bully, he stood up against it. And that's the thing. That's where you kind of draw the line in the sand. Eventually, he would have came at odds with that. And of course, you know, we reflected on that, where he was like, you know, the politics of it all is all about the visual. Like, it's not about what he did being right or wrong, or even if they say, you know, like it was pointed out by the woman that showed up to give him that little card, was that, you know, these people would have been better off with you dead. They just can't say that. They can't. No, it's not something they can admit. And I'm right in assuming that was Elaine from Seinfeld, right? But yeah, man, I'm really curious to see where this whole thing goes, and like he's just unraveling even further. And he was going to kill Sam and Bucky, man. He was going to try to kill them. They weren't there to kill him. They just wanted the shield. He ran from that scene like even instinctively, like that shows that he knows that he crossed a line. He crossed multiple lines getting to this point. So at the end of the day, like I think he spoke his soul about why he was doing all of these things were not necessarily out of his own values when he was in that hearing setting. But yeah, I do feel for him, man, but sorry, bud. I'm sorry, man. It's just not good. It just wasn't meant to be. And him not even telling the truth to Lamar's family. And I think him realizing that, like, at least we can rest knowing that, like, maybe you can rest better knowing the person that you got the person that killed him. And now he knows that, again, he's living another lie. In a way that he's going to have to go take care of that himself, and he's going to actually kill Carly. And I think that's what he's going to do next, because I think after hearing that said back at him, he's got to make that the truth. And I think that's another thing. Like, he's making these promises before living up to them. I don't know. We'll see how it all pans out. I really like that we revisited Isaiah Bradley. You know, there's been a history of this erasure of history of African Americans, various races that have been wronged in the upgrowth of the U.S., of this country, and whether it be the Native Americans, whether it be the Chinese, whether it be the Japanese Americans during World War II, whether it be African Americans, since their entire inception into this country, has been a narrative that has been crafted to keep a lot of that negativity out of circulation. And that's why I was like, they kept Isaiah quiet. It was easier for them, even though he did exactly what Steve did, paralleling that. Like, when Steve disobeyed orders, took the suit, took the shield, and went off to save his men from that Hydra camp, and came back. He came back a hero from doing the exact same Isaiah did. But he went off. But he was also created out of a disregard for his safety, his well-being, because he wasn't seen as worth it, I guess, and in a lot of ways. And it's fucking horrible truth of this nation and some things that have happened in the past, man. These are, while this not superhero related, this has happened many times with the Tuskegee experiments. A lot of, and that's just one. That's probably the most notable one. And there's been multiple occasions where this has been done in the history, and it's just been kind of scrubbed under the rug because it was just like, I will just make him test subjects and we'll see what happens. And then his story, though, if that got out, you know, who wants to hear that story? Who wants to hear that America did these things? They didn't. They swept it on the rug. They put him in prison. They kept him out of contact from his loved ones. Told everybody back home he was dead, and it's fucked up, man. And it's all painted in the idea and the ideals of this Star-Spangled Banner, of keeping that shining bright in the sky for what it is. And that's why he's like, how can with all the crimes that have been done, all the things that have been done, you know, crimes against humanity, maybe not against the government or whatever, it is a crime against humanity, what has been done throughout history. And that I definitely understand that him coming from a point of view where he's like, when he said to Sam, I was like, how can a self-respecting black man ever carry on that shield? And it just goes to Sam's character, and a struggle that I think a lot of people go with is like, well, we got to rise above that. We got to push forward and create the world we want to live in. And that's what Sam's always kind of been doing, from what we learned in this episode. And I think he's going to take that shield, and I think he's going to redeem it. I think he's going to be our Captain America. Not a black Captain America. He's going to be Captain America. And I think that's another beautiful thing about Steve. Steve's always about the heart and soul, and he makes choices not based on anything other than who you are. And I like that Bucky called that out. It's like, you know, when Steve and I gave you that shield, we didn't even consider that there was a weight to it from handing this to a black man, and like what comes with that. And it just shows that they're at least genuine people. Like it also shows that they're ignorant in a lot of ways, that like they had the privilege of not going through those things. They don't know that weight, that struggle, that of life that comes with that, because there's two sides to that coin. It shows that they never saw him like that. They just saw him as a brother, as a companion, as a friend, family. Like, they never really saw him like maybe the rest of the government might have, or other people during their time. But on the other side of that, it shows that they've had the privilege to not even have to worry about those kind of things. It didn't even cross their minds of what would this mean to the public, to the general populace, of handing that shield to him. What does that weight put on Sam when he's holding the shield? What kind of targets does that paint on Sam when he's holding the shield? Versus somebody that looks like Captain America, like Steve Rogers. So it just shows the earnestness and the genuine, like, love, just the genuine soul that Steve Rogers really was. But it also plays into his naivete that he was very well known for. He was very naive about the world. He thought things were, until he went into the battle, until he learned more about how the inner workings of the country had went. things have changed, how things have went. He learned over time, and his naiveness melted away eventually. Never completely getting swept away. He was always painfully naive in a lot of ways to the bitter end. And I mean, they're making it sound like he's actually dead at this point. I mean, he was pretty old. Who knows? He might have died after handing off that shield. We don't know. But yeah, I don't know. This is a really beautiful episode. I really liked how it was slow. It took the time to build out a lot of these small moments, especially with Sam and Bucky, Sam and his sister too. Because like we started off, if you parallel this where we started off with them, they were very much butting heads, and they've gone through this whole thing together. And they started off not wanting to see each other ever again after this. And then they finally get to this point and it feels like their family. It might be a little rushed in some ways, but I like it. I like seeing them back and forth. I like seeing Sam tell Bucky the hard truth about what he's doing. It's like, you're just trying to make yourself feel better, and you're not really doing the painful down and dirty work of confronting what you've done. So I think he's going to go see Nakajima. I think that was his name. And that's my best guy, because he's the one that we've really focused on a lot between the people that we've seen him kind of own up to. I think we'll see him confront him and tell him the truth about what happened to his son in the next episode. Or maybe they won't address it at all. Maybe it'll be set off for whatever. We see it. That's the hope that I have for that. And it's like, I like how they're really kind of mending each other. And I like that whole dialogue with them. Also, Bucky flirting with Sarah. I thought that was really cute. The whole community coming together to help them with their boat and everything was also really beautiful. Seeing his nephews play with the shield was also a really nice touch to this. It was really, really great. This was a heavy episode with a lot of the themes it was going with. And even like the Zemo thing. I was like, I like Zemo, because that's just something we talked about too. It was like Zemo always looks at Bucky when he's trying to figure out what's going on. When he's talking about Super Soldier, when he's talking about Steve, when he's talking about Sam, he's always kind of gives Bucky a little bit of a weird look. And I think it's because he's been trying to decide what to do with Bucky. I think he realizes that Bucky's not the Winter Soldier. He's not a super soldier that needs to go down. He doesn't see him in that way. And he, like, in this kind of weird way, him and Bucky have made a peace with each other. And I like that a lot. Zemo's very interesting character in this. And Daniel Bruhl does a fantastic job at playing this. And then also Bucky handing him over to the Dora Milaje, who are just, they're not even going to take him back to Wakanda, but they're going to take him back to the raft, lock him up there. That's pretty interesting to see how that goes. At least keeps him out in the wild, so he could always be open to returning again. I expected it to be on the loose at the end of this, you know, be an active player in the world after this, but who knows? Maybe he gets away in the end of the next episode. Who knows? We'll see. Yeah, I did like that little moment. I was like, maybe you should stay clear of Wakanda for a little while things kind of blow over for what you did. But I think he's on the right step to making that whole thing right with handing Zemo over to them and letting them decide what to do with him. And then I can only imagine that they made a suit for Sam, his own little Captain America suit. Maybe same vibranium tech that the Black Panther suit's made out of. Give him a little bit of an edge since he's not a superhuman to have a similarly made Captain America suit that functions much like the Black Panther one does, much like the Shield does. It'd be a nice way to kind of counterbalance his lack of super soldier powers. But man, even without that, man, he's pushing his body to the edges, to the limits. He's training, he's perfecting his form and using the shield. I really like this episode, guys. And of course, Carly going further down again, having yet another person in her group question what she's doing. Actually, it's the same guy. It was the same guy that's been like, again, he was like, "Now we're working with criminals." I was like, "Well, we are criminals." I was like, that's another person getting lost in their quest. Carly and Walker are two people going down the same path in the show. And it's really going to be interesting to see where they go with this. And Walker's not going to let this go. And he's going to make his own shield. He's got his metals welded into this new one he's made. And I'm curious to see if we'll see him in the full on U.S. agent colors at the end of this. So this was a solid episode, guys. It got pretty deep, got pretty heavy, and we'll see where they go from here. I think this finale is going to be pretty awesome. So, guys, what did you think of this episode? Sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We carry on the conversation after the video. Remember, full-length watch-along is available over on Patreon. If you become a member here on the channel, gets you access to it as well as all the other episodes we've been covering, all the other shows we're covering here on the channel as well. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Huge shout out to our patron legends, Mandy Sherritt, Antoine Rodriguez, and Ryan Karen. Thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you guys for this journey. We're about to come to a close on yet another MCU just solid, awesome show, and I can't wait to see what Loki brings next. We got Bad Batch coming. We got a lot of things coming down the pipeline, guys. Thank you guys so much. I'll catch you guys in the next episode, the finale of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Take care, everybody.